My favorite game of all time is Cave Story by Daisuke Pixel Amaya. It's a fun little adventure with tight gameplay and a cute story. It's not too long, it's not too difficult, the art style is perfectly simplistic, and the music, oh my god, it's so good! If I were to give it a personal rating, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10, maybe a 9. Of course, it's not perfect. I could rant for a while about how certain parts are kind of dumb, how it could maybe be better, but what's the point? I enjoyed it, that's what matters. Now, I'd like to contrast Cave Story with a game that is so insanely distant from it. Daggers. This is a game that I bought on a whim because I saw it on the front page of Steam for pretty cheap, and the art style really spoke to me, so I said fuck it, and I bought it. It's a fast-paced action game where you kill things and collect gems and try to survive and get high up on the leaderboards. You know, it's one of those games where you have to get high scores. It's really old-fashioned, but that's not to say that there isn't a space for a game like that in the modern scape of gaming. I feel like I really need to defend it because this game is really cool. It's so sick. I love it. Oh my gosh. I've only played it for 2 hours to be honest, but oh my god. I would go so far as saying it's perfect? 10 out of 10? But I still wouldn't place it above Cave Story, which I gave maybe a 9. That's from a personal standpoint, and you might be saying, hey, you big fucking retard, that doesn't make any sense, and to that I would say, fuck you. The biggest factor at play here is the difference in scope between these two games. Cave Story is a big game. It has a lot of content to get right, and a lot of content that different people are going to experience differently. Someone who is a hardcore 2D platforming fan might play it and love it for those elements. These are the type of people that would probably go on to speedrun the game. God knows I never could. I've tried. It requires some serious precision, and my brain no work good. Another person might enjoy it for the music, the design, the aesthetic of the game. Maybe that person would wish it was a little easier. That would be a critique of theirs. As for me, I appreciate everything Cave Story has going for it. Any critique I have comes from a place of wanting it to be the best it can be. If I had to nitpick, I would say it's annoying how much you have to go back and forth in Grass Town. I would say this boss is way too tedious, and yeah, whatever. Little things like that. But Daggers though? Daggers though? I wouldn't change a goddamn thing. I feel like the developer Sorath had a vision and perfectly captured it. This extends to everything, the art, the sound design, the movement of the character. It's so tight, and I really fuck with it. And back to the matter of scope, it's one of those games that doesn't have and doesn't need a grand scale for it to be great. It clearly has an emphasis on quality over quantity, you might say. Many AAA titles focus on having a lot of content. It makes a game much more marketable. But are longer and grander scale games always better than smaller games? I'd like to look towards Red Dead Redemption 2. A recent release that received a lot of praise, a lot of 10 out of 10s. Perfect scores, and if you can't already guess, I would not give Red Dead 2 a 10 out of 10. I won't linger on the discussion of this game for too long because I don't want to be fucking lynched, but I'll say for sure that Red Dead 2 has flaws. The gameplay and the story feel disjointed from each other. I want freedom and agency to approach the game however I want, but the story gets in the way of that. Nakey Jakey's video on Red Dead 2 echoes my thoughts pretty well, and if you want to hear more good critiques, you should probably watch his video, but the point is, the game is not perfect. If you really wanted to, I would say you could make the argument that maybe the story is perfect, maybe the environment is perfect, because holy shit, it does those things so well. But the more you focus on things like story and graphics and environment when you're developing a game, I feel like you lose focus on gameplay. But Daggers though? That's an example of a game that is intensely focused on giving the player a certain gameplay experience and giving the player just enough content to experience it and have a satisfying time, and it goes the extra mile by being aesthetically fantastic. Daggers definitely isn't for everyone, because again, games are obviously subjective, but if you think you would be into it, it's only $5 on Steam and well worth that price. And if you take nothing else away from my ramblings, at the very least I hope you are unafraid in the future to see how small little indie games have value as being perfectly concise gameplay experiences, which is something that pretty much is entirely lost by AAA developers. But whatever, I don't care.